You're listening to Radio Long Island City, recorded at our studios near Hell Gate, 9 kilometers north of the Harbor Hill Moraine. And now, the Observatory. The Observatory, Saturday the 20th of December 2025. It is 89 days after the fall equinox. It is one day before the winter solstice. Tonight is the seventh night of Hanukkah. By the Hebrew calendar, the month of Tevet begins at sundown. By the Islamic calendar, the month of Rajab also begins at sundown. By the French Republican calendar, it is the 30th day of Frimaire, the day of the pelle, the shovel. The sun rises today at 7:16 a.m. Solar noon takes place today at 11:53 a.m. The sun sets today at 4:31 p.m. Civil twilight ends at 5:02 p.m., and nautical twilight ends at 5:37 p.m. The length of daytime today is 5 seconds shorter than yesterday. The moon is in its waxing crescent phase and is 1% full at midday. The first quarter will arrive on Saturday, the 27th of December. These are the predicted tides today for Horns Hook. In the wee hours, low tide, 3:45 a.m., 12 centimeters. In the morning, high tide, 10:04 a.m., 1 meter 46. In the afternoon, low tide, 4:23 p.m., minus 9 centimeters. At night, high tide, 10:37 p.m., 1 meter 22. In our shared realm of plants and animals, among our year-round resident birds are the European starlings. They are one of the most abundant songbirds in North America, although they are definitely not native. The first imported starlings were released in Central Park by Eugene Schieffelin in 1890. Schieffelin was a member of the New York Genealogical and Biographical Society and the New York Zoological Society. He was also the chairman of the American Acclimatization Society, a group dedicated to introducing European flora and fauna to the Americas. He couldn't imagine how successful he would be in this regard. There are now some 200 million starlings on our continent. They are of concern because they put pressure on native birds. But they are beautiful. Their iridescent black coats are now speckled with white dots. They are wearing their winter plumage. Watch for them in the parks. You are sure to spot them. Commemorations. On this day in 1940, Captain America made his debut in Captain America Comics #1. Created by Joe Simon and Jack Kirby, Captain America was an ordinary man who was administered an experimental super soldier serum, which gave him his superpowers. The cover of the first issue showed Captain America punching Adolf Hitler. Although the United States had not yet entered World War II, the anti-fascist image was largely appreciated. It sold almost 1 million copies. At the same time, there were enough Axis sympathizers in the country that Simon and Kirby began receiving threats and hate mail. Police protection was posted outside their offices at Timely Comics in the McGraw-Hill building on 42nd Street, and New York Mayor Fiorello LaGuardia called the authors to offer his support. On this day in 1946, the movie It's a Wonderful Life had its premiere at the Globe Theater in New York. The Jimmy Stewart classic received mixed reviews at the time, but has gone on to be a Christmas standard. On this day in 1956, the Supreme Court's orders of injunction against segregation on city buses were delivered to Montgomery City Hall in Alabama. The buses of Montgomery were finally desegregated after a very long struggle. Today we remember Edwin Abbott, born this day in 1838. Abbott was the author of the 1884 book Flatland, A Romance of Many Dimensions. The book is a romance, an allegory, and a satire. It takes place in a fictional world where the beings live in 2 dimensions, and is recounted by a character known simply as the Square. The Square encounters a cube, who lives in a 3rd dimension the Square cannot perceive. His attempts to share his discovery of a 3rd dimension causes consternation among his fellow Flatlanders, and he is branded a heretic. The book is both an exploration of mathematics and geometry and a plea for free thinkers. It remains in print to this day. We also remember Robert van de Graaff, born this day in 1901. The American physicist was the inventor of the Van de Graaff generator. Consisting of an upright tube topped with a metal sphere, it was an electrostatic machine that could produce extremely high voltages. It was used to drive the very first particle accelerators in the 1930s. But for scientific laypeople, it is best known through horror movies of the time, where its zapping charges provided the backdrop to many a mad scientist's lair. And that is the Observatory, Saturday the 20th of December, 2025.